We have hit a critical point in this war. From day one of this war, the Prime Minister laid out 3 objectives: the return of all of our hostages, the defeat and dismantling of Hamas, and ensuring Gaza no longer poses a threat to Israel. All of the Prime Minister's objectives have now been achieved. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu last night announced approval of the first phase of the plan for all of our 48 hostages to be released by Hamas terrorists who have held our innocent people for 734 days. We have reached this moment, a historic moment orchestrated by Prime Minister Netanyahu, fought by our brave soldiers with tremendous sacrifice and bravery, but also with diplomatic success. This is a national and a moral victory for the state of Israel. The significant and difficult decisions the Prime Minister took to get to this point, including pushing forward militarily into Gaza City, targeting Hamas leaders in Doha, his powerful UN speech, and meeting with President Trump in the White House. It squeezed Hamas to this point, forcing them to come back to the table. Through every day of this war, every victory that led us to this point since the beginning, Prime Minister Netanyahu has made it abundantly clear we will not rest until all of our hostages return home and our goals are achieved. Now, here's what I can tell you right now about the significant details going forward about this approved first phase. Tonight at 5 p.m. Israel time, there will be a cabinet meeting, and at 6 p.m. Israel time, there will be a government meeting taking place. Now, within 24 hours after the cabinet meeting takes place, a ceasefire will then begin in Gaza. The IDF will then redeploy to the yellow line as shown on maps, which have been widely distributed at this point in time. And now after this 24-hour period, the 72-hour time window will then begin, where all of our hostages will be released back into Israel. Now, the final draft of Phase 1 was signed this morning in Egypt by all parties to release all of the hostages. And the IDF will then redeploy to that yellow line we mentioned, which will lead to the military controlling and holding about 53% of the Gaza Strip. Now, Phase 1 stands very clear. All of our hostages, the living and deceased, will be released 72 hours later, which will bring us to Monday. Israel is preparing to receive our hostages in all conditions they may be in. This comes with the help from specialists and all main hospitals in Israel. They are ready with robust procedures that are in place. Israel is anticipating the handover of our hostages to be conducted with respect and decorum from Hamas, and will have no tolerance for our hostages to be paraded around like we have seen in the past. Hostages will then be transferred into the hands of specialized IDF forces. Has Israel agreed or refused to release Palestinian prisoner Marwan Barghouti? I can tell you at this point in time that he will not be part of this release. In terms of that, it's a very difficult thing that Israel has to do. Many of these terrorists who are being released are convicted terrorists who have blood in their hands for murdering innocent Israelis. Journalists have always been allowed into Gaza. I think journalists actually really need to recognize how dangerous the Gaza Strip is. There are homes, there are roads that are completely booby-trapped with explosives by a terror organization that is inside of the Gaza Strip at this point in time. We've continued to get this question, and the answer is yes, journalists are absolutely allowed inside of the Gaza Strip, but you have to understand the risk that comes with it. Let's get something very clear. Aid has always been going into the Gaza Strip from the beginning of this war until now. And of course, it has increased significantly in the last few weeks. Israel is committed to bringing humanitarian aid in. The problem is Hamas. Will this aid actually reach these populations that need it the most? You should ask Hamas that question.